Today we're looking at a tricky construction in Galatians chapter 5 verse 7. Let's start out with the English translation from the ESV. You were running well. Who hindered you from obeying the truth? It's an interesting thought. We're going to look at it in two parts. Atrekete kalos. Atrekete kalos. So atrekete is an imperfect active indicative second person plural verb. Comes from treko, I run. So here, because it's in the imperfect tense, which is the tense that shows linear or continual action at some time in the past, we would translate this, you were running. And then we get an adverb, kalos. Now, if it was kalos with an omicron rather than an omega, it would be an adjective. But with the omega, it is an adverb modifying the verb you were running. You were running well. So this is a great little example of why grammar matters and why verb tenses matter. At some point in the past, you plural were running well. If they were still running well, we wouldn't use the imperfect tense. It would be the perfect tense. Instead of etrekete kalos, it would just be trekete kalos. You are running well. But by using the imperfect tense, we're getting a hint that there's been a change. Something has happened. You were running well, but you are not presently running well. Pretty important. There's no reason to reference the past if they're still running well. And at the heart of the letter to the Galatians is the notion that they started out well in their Christianity, but because of outside influences, people telling them that they needed Jesus plus dietary restrictions, Jesus plus circumcision, Jesus plus meticulous law keeping, they have started to stumble. That's the reason for the letter to the Galatians is, hey, you were doing great, but someone's come along and bewitched you and led you astray. So here he says, you were running well. Let's go on to the second part. Tis humas enikopsen te aletheia me pephesthai. It's tough to get two ths together like that. Pephesthai. So, tis, who, humas, you plural, enikopsen, blocked or hindered. Who blocked or hindered you? And then we get into the sort of the complex part of the verse. Te aletheia, in the truth, me pephesthai, essentially to not be obedient to the truth. So pephesthai from patho, persuade, passion, but here with a dative object, the truth in the dative case, it's obey, but it's negated with the may. So who interfered, who obstructed you, who blocked or hindered you with the result that you became disobedient to the truth. You stopped obeying the truth. That's what's going on here. So it's important to look at this other verb, enikopsen, which is an active interference or an obstruction. In other words, somebody got involved in their situation. What was their situation? You were running well. Somebody came along and hindered the running, obstructed the running, threw themselves in their path, threw something in their path. There's another word, scandalizo, which is literally to throw a stumbling block in someone's path. This is not that word. This is more like hip checking somebody. Who knocked you off your stride so that you're no longer running well? Pretty magnificent stuff. So what's the dynamic at play here? Whatever was done, Paul asks the question, who has hindered you, who has obstructed you so that you are no longer running well? What constitutes running well? Obeying the truth. Because we know that once they were hindered, once they were obstructed, once they were interfered with, it resulted in them no longer obeying the truth. Pretty interesting stuff. If something happens that keeps you from obeying the truth in Paul's mind regarding the Galatians, that would constitute them no longer running well. You were running well when you were obeying the truth. When someone knocked you off your stride and interfered with your running, interfered with you obeying the truth, you ceased to be running well. Pretty amazing stuff. If being obedient to the truth constitutes running well, anything that gets you to not obey the truth is a hindrance or a blockage. Beware of things that ruin your running. Pretty interesting stuff. Galatians 5:7. Go take a look at it for yourself and let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. And until next time, Kar Sky Arena Humine, grace and peace to you.